Misfits Tuesday night edition. I am Pugs Moran. That is James Aloysius Parker. James, how are you today?
Hey, doing okay.
That was like an energy suck. That was like really like, hey, yeah, I'm fine, man. I just got some really bad news from the doctor, and I'm gonna muscle through. I don't want to talk about it yet, but okay. So everything's yeah.
Yeah.
We missed you last night, but that's okay because I just did an hour on my thoughts on Israel, which, is probably best unchallenged. So it's probably best that you weren't here.
Oh, how'd that go?
That went fine. We just I was going to do live coverage of the ground incursion. I've been waiting for that to start up. I've been watching, the late night feeds and all that. And I just figured I may as well talk about it.
These people are like, well, welcome to World War III. It's like, what are you new here? They have to flare up about every 7 or 8 years,
There you go. There you go. I believe that's the exact line you took 2 years ago when the Ukraine war was starting, and you said, this has got to be nothing. It's going to last a week. We're heading.
I didn't say it was going to last a week. I said it's going to be inconsequential to all of our daily lives, and it has been.
It hasn't really. It's been, well, you're right. You're right. As far if we're being real, yeah, it's been completely inconsequential. But we've made it consequential because it's become a part of our narrative. It's because whether or not you support Ukraine aid now defines who you are in the neighborhood.
Don't underestimate the power of indifference, people.
Yeah, that's very great. You know what? Seriously, I applaud that. That is absolute genius right there. That's money. He's money, and he doesn't even know it. Yesterday I had a little different kind of a show prepared for us, not to steamroll anything that you wanted to do. I know you always come prepared. I thought, I had been compiling all of these videos from, we never get to them. I always have like crazy videos that we never get to. They're just there for the end of the show. And I thought yesterday we could just do a James and Pugs watch party where we just watch crazy videos and then comment on what we're seeing. And then you weren't there. So I did a full hour on Israel and how it's also confusing. And how you can have compassion for the people of Palestine while not supporting Hamas and that whole thing. It's terrible. People are dying.
Well, I think most of us have compassion for the innocent civilians who, are just trying to be peaceful and live their lives, and they're getting caught up in whatever's going on between the militants and the Israeli Defense Forces or whatever. Sure, everyone has sympathy for that. The real question is, that's always tiring, is one side's like, he started it, and the other side's like, well, he started it. And it's like, well, he did it first. Well, he did this. Well, he did that. And it goes all the way back to like the year 3000 BC. And it's like, stop. Y'all are like the ultimate siblings that, I don't know. Like, what movie was that Adam Sandler did where he was in New York, and even though he was like a Israeli Jew, his neighbors across the street were like Arab Palestinians. And he pointed out that, we kind of look alike, and we have similar features, and, we have similar hair. And
no, you're not. No, you're not.
Well, they are cousins.
No, you're not. You are not. You are not allowed to make reference to the brilliant Adam Sandler film, Don't Fear the Zohan, or whatever that was called. I love that movie. That's the movie you're talking about.
Yes.
I think I'm the only person on the planet who loves that movie. I think that movie's hysterical.
I thought it was great. Yeah, the Palestinians' business was called Going Out of Business.
The Zohan. He was a hairdresser.
Yeah, and they were like, why do you name your shop Going Out of Business? They're like, it's good for business. It's of urgency. I see what you did there. I like that. Brilliant marketing.
The pushback that I always give with that thing, because like this, let's not get, once we start saying, they've been at each other's throats since the Bible. I mean, all that does. I understand why we say that, because it makes sense and it's probably true to some extent. But it absolves us of any responsibility of trying to fix it in our lifetime. When we're able to just marginalize the problem is something that goes back thousands of years. The fact of the matter, James, and this is what I've been saying, this is what I said yesterday, this is not about Jew versus Arab. This is not about the Bible. This is not about the Torah and the Quran. This is about 1967 and the borders. This is about real estate.
1948.
Well, no, but specifically, this is about moving back to the '67 borders. Which, but you're right. You're right. We can go back. They did it before in '48 as well, and they did it all
Yeah,
throughout the
no, no,
'50s.
no. Seriously, the Jews versus
This is about
the
real
Arab
estate. This is about politics, not religion.
Okay, so that starts in 1948 when we redrew these new borders that had never existed ever
Right.
before in the history of the planet.
Well, they
In
did. They were the Palestinian Lebanon. That's what they were, and they were that for 1,000 years, and everybody was cool with it. And then World War II ended, and then they just, they did what we did with the Indians. So,
Well, they originally had that wasn't all Israel. That was called Transjordan because it was a country that used to go on, or at least a what is called a protectorate. This is so stupid.
all the way from Saudi Arabia to Turkey, Transjordan. That was the entire Middle East, but that was a puppet state by the British colonials, right? That's the dude. That's why I was talking about that today, actually. During the Transjordan period is why that there was like 50 years where the king of Jordan was the brother of the king of Saudi Arabia, whose son was the king of Iran, whose son was the king of Iraq. I mean, it was one dude who the Brits gave the entire Middle East to, and he just made all of his kids kingdoms of these new kingdoms because there was no Jordan before World War I. There was no, they were all just carved up, and I mean, it was basically given to this one family.
That's the country that has one of the funniest backstories is the country of Jordan. Why are you called Jordan? Well, we used to be called Transjordan. Why? Because your people were Jordanian? No, because the part of the map that we inherited goes across the Jordan River.
Yeah.
But you don't go across the Jordan River anymore. Right. That's why we dropped the trans part and we just became Jordan. Oh, okay.
That's why we have that problem called the West Bank over on that side of the river. Anyway, but so I push back against the whole, this is about, they've been fighting for thousands of years. Nobody fighting. Hamas is not fighting right now. They're not fighting for anything that's, in their religion. They will.
Oh, it's
No, they
influence.
they exploit their religion by justifying atrocities as being. That's how they get idiots to do idiotic things in the name of, power.
Agreed.
Make them think there's gonna be 70 virgins waiting for them. So, that's religion is involved to that aspect. But this is a land grab. This is about power. This is about what's going on between, and again, we talked about this last night. This is about a power struggle inside Gaza between two Palestinian groups, Hamas and Fatah, which is the paramilitary arm of the Palestinian Authority, which is run by Mahmoud Abbas, who is the world recognized leader of the Palestinian people, who has been completely absent in all of this because this is Hamas and Hamas is his sworn mortal enemy. So, but it's very complicated. Like this is really more about Hamas trying to win the favor of the Palestinian people from the Palestinian Authority.
They already won their favor. They won the last open election that they had. Now, however free and fair it is kind of
in Gaza. Yes, they did. Yeah, but they haven't won anywhere else. They haven't won in either of the districts in the West Bank. They haven't won in the Golan Heights. They won, but it was close and it was a very contested and disputed election. So
they don't have elections in the Golan Heights, do they?
Yeah. The Mahmoud Abbas actually has 3 protectorates that he's in charge of: District 1, District 2, and then I thought it was the Golan Heights. Isn't the Golan Heights the one up near Syria?
Yeah.
Isn't that the north? Anyway, doesn't matter.
Over my head at this point.
This is about a civil war essentially between the Palestinians. And one of the
they weren't floating into a Palestinian music festival to kill people.
No. Don't be disingenuous. No, what I'm saying is this was Hamas trying to show the Palestinian people that there is a way to achieving what they want that isn't this bullshit diplomacy that the Palestinian Authority has been engaged in.
I misunderstood. You're correct.
Yeah. Hamas is trying to show the Palestinian people that no, stop with this diplomacy that that Abbas is trying to get us to do. Let's go to war. That's what they're trying to do. It's a last-ditch effort, and it's going to fail, and it will be the end of Hamas. But
it's an ugly world we live in. Hey, how do we win over the love of the general public? Let's see how many Jews we can kill. That'll win them over. Wow.
That's an unfortunate reality. If you're sitting around having drinks with guys on the streets of Gaza, you'll probably get some pretty harsh hot takes about the Jews. They don't like them.
Yeah. Well, I was friends with a Palestinian from the West Bank. He had his family had a couple stores in the Valley View Mall. One of them was across from me, so I hung out with Cleo every day. And boy, I've heard a lot of their side of the story. He tells me he got in trouble. He went to high school in Tampa, And so in order to try and keep him out of trouble, they sent him back to the old family in the West Bank to go to high school for a couple of years in Ramallah. And
Because
so
it'd be safer than,
it only lasted 2 years before he's like, "I'm leaving and I'm not coming back."
yeah.
So, he says when he was in high school, it was the first Gulf War, the invading Kuwait in the early '90s, Desert Shield and all that. And, he said at night, the electricity would get cut off, and they would all sit out on the porch, and they would watch Saddam launch missiles, the Scud missiles, and try and make it to Israel. And they would see Patriot missiles try and shoot him down, and he's like, sometimes they'd get him, sometimes they'd miss, and then we'd all cheer. And I'm like, ooh, that's a little cringy.
Speaking of that, have you seen any of the cool ass video of the Iron Dome, the Israeli defense system that knocks out missiles as they try and go? It's pretty impressive. It's
It's pretty amazing. It looks like the Missile Commander video game. Isn't that what it's called?
Missile command. Missile
Missile
command is
Command.
what it was. Yeah, it's missile command. Or I was watching it today and I'm thinking, yeah, this is just like some big Israeli hillbilly shooting skeet. He's just like on a rooftop, just boom, banging these missiles out of the air before they can hit the ground. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It works. It works. Don't ever let it be said it doesn't work. Remember, there was a big thing like we were supposed to like fund it or something. We were going to give a whole bunch of money. It was a big thing. I don't remember exactly what it came down to, but there was some instance where we were like, we can't be funding this. Well, it works. We know it works. The Iron Dome works.
Yeah, well, it
So
wasn't money wasted unless that was our taxpayer dollars that were also paying for the rockets that are getting shot down by the Iron Dome.
yeah,
Kind
yeah.
of
Or the food that fortified the bellies of the young militants who hurled
probably, yeah.
those hand
I
grenades.
think we're funding like both sides of this war, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd be interested to see if we just said, you know what, our involvement's done. Y'all just work it out amongst yourselves, and I think they would work it out. I think within 5 years, either one side will have wiped out the other, and
Well, there you go. That's the end result. One side will wipe out the other. So
and if that's the
if
way it's
you
gotta
are
go, then y'all do this. And I don't think we have any responsibility to make sure that these people get along. But apparently all of our attempts for the last whatever 70, 80 years have failed, just given what's happened in the last week. Let's pull out and whatever happens, happens.
if they didn't have oil and a reason for our interests, our economic interests, they would be Central Africa. The Middle East would be Central Africa. We wouldn't give a shit. We'd never look at them
Well,
twice.
that's the funny part is because like Israel is like the only part of the Middle East that doesn't have oil. And that it's really, you know,
Boy, that's the worst deal the Jewish people ever made, huh? How did they get the land with no oil?
well, that's where they're from. They can't bitch.
It's true.
Go
Yeah.
take it up with Moses because he's the one who led y'all to this exact spot. So don't complain to me. But really, we're all dealing with this now because of goddamn Hitler. Because the Holocaust, and we were all horrified that he just trained all the Jews that he could get his hands on to concentration camps and just methodically gas 6 million of them. We vowed what they need to have their own spot, and we need to never let this happen again. And that was kind of the catalyst for what you bring up, and that's the nationality, the boundary struggle, the geopolitical struggle, more so than the
Right,
biblical turf war,
right.
the Jets and the Sharks or whatever.
We use the biblical nonsense as a way to wash our hands of any responsibility. The fact of the matter is, this is a modern political issue that has to do with borders, and the borders over there will change another 50 times in the next 200 years. So,
And isn't it kind of just bile in your stomach that we're still dealing with negative consequences from decisions made by Hitler?
yeah, I mean that really isn't.
How
Okay,
bad?
so
It's the worst person on earth. I mean, ever
they
Hitler?
did, well, I don't know if he's the worst person on earth. Certainly the worst person of the last 100 years or so.
Modern
He
times.
might,
Yeah.
might be up there. I mean, I don't know. There's been some pretty bad. I've seen some pretty bad examples of humanity over the past 72 hours. I can tell you that. I've seen some videos.
I had to stop
I-
watching videos. I watched like 4.
Yeah,
I'm like, I can't put this in my head.
I can't anymore. You seen the kids in the dog kennel cages? Did you see that one? That there's like some dog kennel apparently in Gaza where they've got all these kidnapped little toddlers and they're just keeping them in cages. And Hamas is making, see here, let me make this clear. And I want to say this to you. I want to make sure that there's no confusion between the two of us. I said earlier, you have to have compassion for all the people and all the victims here. And there are some innocent victims on both sides. But I'm seeing a lot of people, like especially with some of the mainstream news coverage, I'm seeing a lot of this starting to be presented as like a both sides kind of argument. This is not a both sides argument. The greater 30,000-foot conversation about Palestinian-Israeli diplomacy, that's a much larger argument. And that one, you can listen to both sides because there are some historical, things that need to be discussed. We're talking right now about what happened in the last 3 days, and that was very much one side being an aggressor and behaving as terrorists. So this is not like I'm seeing. Have you seen like ABC News referred to Hamas as militant soldiers? Like militant soldiers?
They are militant.
Are you?
They're not really soldiers. They're not part of any nation's army. So
another one, but this was an individual. This was an individual referred to as some news person, but it was a person of stature. They called them freedom fighters.
woo!
Palestinian freedom. This is, I get it. I understand how the media is trying to be right down the middle, but this seems very clear to me. This seems very clear to me that there was one person responsible for these atrocities, and it ain't the Israelis. It's Hamas.
Yeah. And look, that there's really no such thing as good reporting that is right down the middle, because we're not talking about an abstract Jackson Pollock painting.
Right.
Just think if like we had and take the emotions out of it and something we all agree on. We all saw the Cowboys just get absolutely slaughtered by the 49ers. No, not bad word. They got beat really bad by the 49ers on Sunday Night Football. Now, if you're calling that,
it was a genocide, James.
Stupid. But if you have some guy that's right down the middle calling that game, at the end of the game, you're going to sound ridiculous if you're trying to make some sort of equivalency between the Dallas Cowboys are just as good as the 49ers. I don't get what's going on here. I guess the refs are just cheating, or maybe there's some underhanded deal that we don't know about, or they're really being cheated here. That score should be even. And the 49ers must be cheating them really hard because they have so many more points. And the more points really they have, I guess the more that they cheat. It's like, no, the better they are. They're better. They're a better team. We just found out in a very horrible fashion.
No, there is no two sides of it. There's one side that needs to get punched in the face for what they did. They did something really bad.
Well, how do you punch them without taking a whole lot of, morally innocent Palestinians out with them?
Right? Life sucks, doesn't it, James? You're right. I mean,
not my problem. I don't think we have any responsibility to make sure that anything works out the way we think it should work out. I don't think we're making it better. I see both of the rockets from these videos coming from taxpayer dollars that started with us. So we are not helping. We are just gas on that fire, if anything.
Have you watched, I'm obsessed with these live cams. I've been watching this Reuters live stream, which is just a camera. Well, actually, it's not just a camera, it's a cameraman, because sometimes he, has to run and you see him. It's just a 24-hour live cam just on top of a roof in Gaza. And it's just showing buildings blow up, and it's showing, hold on a second, let me get out of there. Let me see. I'll show it to you. Okay, here it is now. This is what we're at right now. But I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back like 5 hours to earlier today, where it was quite exciting just watching this. So we're looking at Gaza. This is the top of a hotel building where media is staying at in Gaza. I don't know why they're in Gaza, but this camera has been running now for, I don't know. It's been running for days, but
why would you go get a room in Gaza right now?
Because they're here. Let's go back. I want to go back so we can see how it looked earlier today. Okay, so this.
Okay.
Yeah. Now this, I can't back up any further because apparently this is as far back as they'll let me go. This is the marina. This is right underneath.
Yeah, boat on fire. I saw this boat on some B-roll earlier.
Yeah, I saw it blow up. I actually saw the missile hit it, and then the bombs, and then the camera guy ran over to this side of the building and started filming here. Here, it's compelling stuff, man. Unfortunately, they just let it burn. This boat burned for hours. There you can see a pullout of the marina, probably. So anyway, it's dark now. Anyway, here. This is the live. We'll go back to the live. There we go. This is the live. This is what's going on in Gaza right now. It seems quiet. It is what? 5:30 in the morning. So it's about 5:26 in the morning there in Gaza. Some interesting things. So, like, the camera is just sitting up there on the roof filming the entire skyline, and you're watching these buildings down below just explode just out of nowhere because you don't see the bombs drop from the sky, and the sound comes after the explosion, which is a very fun phenomena that we remember every time we see these things. So you see just a building explode, and then like 5 seconds later you hear the explosion, and that's confusing. But also, man, like, from right in the middle of the city, like, it looks like, Gaza was a regular city. It was an urban city. So like across the street from a gas station and an office building, and maybe there's a McDonald's with a Starbucks. I mean, these places probably don't exist there, but what I'm saying is it looks like a normal city. You'll be watching these bombs coming in, and then you'll see missiles fire from the city. I mean, they literally have missile batteries inside civilian locations. It's a long way for me to kind of get to this point, but you can watch that. Like, I'm watching Hamas fire ground-to-air missiles trying to knock out these planes that were carpet bombing earlier today, and you can see the missiles taking off from what looks like hospitals and apartment buildings. And I mean, it's really, because you hear about that, about how they use their own people as human shields and all that, but to actually see it and be like, that missile isn't coming from an airport or from a military base. That thing looks like it's coming from a high school.
Well, they also have like 2 million people crammed into an area the size of Dallas County. I mean, it's probably more dense than Dallas County, and there's just not any way to separate the civilians from the military. And if you're a terrorist organization that runs on, getting your side as upset as possible, then you like the civilian casualties. That helps your cause,
It's also the other thing that I don't know that people realize about Gaza, because I certainly didn't until I really took a crash course in this last couple of days. Gaza's been under a blockade for a decade, which means it's a prison city. You can't freely come and go. First of all, there's only one exit into Egypt from the south end, and the Egyptian government is
they closed that gate, didn't they?
Yeah, the Egyptian government is working with the Israelis. The Egyptian government and the Israelis are like, yeah, let's box these people up. Now, this goes all the way back to Hamas being started by the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt. It was an answer to Iran's formation of Hezbollah up in Lebanon. So Hamas was started by Egypt, but then Hamas grew a little too big. And the Muslim Brotherhood, was like, we can't control Hamas anymore. So that's why they're actually working with Egypt. So, I mean, Gaza is like a cordoned off city. There's a blockade in the marina. So
Egypt gets a lot of money from us to be friendly to Israel too.
Egypt, yes.
Yes. Yeah. When you take a poll of the Egyptian citizens, I don't think they would agree with what their government's doing.
No.
On the side of the Israelis, but money talks, and all right.
Well, look,
we're interfering again.
Egypt's been through some shit in the last decade. They needed some American help. So they were willing to cut some deals and suddenly become friends with some Israelis if it meant maybe pulling out of the ditch that Egypt had put themselves in about 10 years ago. All right, you want to move on from this, or do we have any more? Do you have anything you want to add? Israel.
Here's what's going to happen. There's going to be a little bit more bloodshed. There's going to be a whole lot of screaming and yelling, and people are going to say dumb things in the media. People are going to accuse other people of being Nazis or Hitler or anti-Semites or whatever. Eventually, we'll all lose interest. They'll sign some sort of peace agreement that will be violated immediately, and this will flare up again probably in about 4 or 5 years.
All right, that's James' take. Here's my take. This is going to continue, these aerial bombings, for the next few days. Then probably around the weekend, I'm expecting there to be a massive land incursion, the size of which the Israeli military has never done. They've called up 300,000 reservists and are amassing along the border. Once that happens, I believe Hezbollah will get involved once it becomes a land war, and we'll start to see incursions from the north through Lebanon. That means Iran's going to be involved, which means the United States is going to be involved, which means we're all going to die. All right, so now we can...
We're not. We'll be fine over here.
Or not. Yes, James, you are right. And I am rooting for your scenario, but I'm just telling you, this is going to be bad. This is going to be... you got the war in Eastern Europe, and that's going to filter. We're going to have a war in the Balkans. It's just connect the Arab dots. Just go the whole Arab, wherever that, go all the way up into, you find yourself in Ukraine, and then suddenly we've got the whole world in war.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of funky how in the Balkans, the main bulk of problems that come from there. I know I'm speaking way out over my head here,
Well, you want to get
but that's
politics?
well, no, that's a Muslim Christian
Yeah.
based conflict, you know, with the Bosniaks and the, you know, Christian Serbs and the ethnic Albanians who are also Muslim going into Kosovo illegally and just.
The only thing they agree on is that they don't like Jews. They don't like each other, but also they agree they don't like Jews.
I
The
think
Muslims and the Christians in the Balkans.
the Balkan Christians don't like Jews.
No, oh no, the Eastern European purge of the Romanis and the Jews in the 14th century. That's
Okay.
Yeah.
That's just weird because out here in Bug Tussle, we love the Jews. That's like
a lot of the vampire mythology that comes out of there is about anti-Semitism, really. That's the Jews were vampires. That it's that whole thing.
Yikes. That got weird.
Hey, people have been hating on the Jews for a long time. There's a lot of crazy ways they've hated on the Jews.
So what a weird hobby.
It really is. Seems like a very strange hobby. I don't get it.
Have you met them? They seem kind of nice.
You see, I know plenty of Jews. Some of my closest friends are Jews.
Yeah, we work in media. We know a lot of them, and they're fine.
I've been out with them, and I've seen the way they behave, and I've thought to myself, why is this so objectionable to everybody else?
I've also had the experience where I find out after I've been friends with someone for 6 years, you're a Jew?
Yes. No, I've never had that. I've actually always known.
I haven't. I just.
But I come from a city where there's a lot of Jewish people, and people are very proud to be Jewish. You know, like so it's like people know I'm Irish. You know, it's the same thing for Jews in Chicago. You come from the Jewish sections. It's a pride thing. All right, hey James, I don't know if you got anything else. You want to watch some videos? I got some fun videos that I thought we could watch together and we could try and figure out. Now I'm going to give you a choice. Okay, all right, I'm going to give you a choice. Do you want to see some heartfelt mommy and child videos?
God, no. Get that
out
of here. No.
Well, we're going to see it because I want to show that one anyway. I wouldn't have led with it if I didn't think it was good. You want to see children traumatized by animals?
Kinda,
yeah. How about we got a couple of fights too? We can judge a couple of fights. We can play justified or not.
Is it girl fights?
They do involve girls.
Oh, is it the one where the girl slapped the guy and so he just George Foreman'd her about 6 times?
It might be. And also, we've got a video here that I'm just calling "Don't Fuck with Gary." So maybe if that's interesting to you, if you'd like to know what that's about.
We'll watch all of them. Let's go.
Don't fuck with Gary. And then, of course, when I call Parachute Granny. All right, let's start, James. How about we start with, what's this one? Oh, okay. Fair or foul. Here you go. Here's a video. This is a video. We'll start with this one, James. I want you to watch the video. And this is one of them guys on a bike on a crotch rocket, and he's got one of them cameras on his helmet. You know these idiots, these a-holes on the motorcycles?
They are really
stupid. We all hate them so much. Well, they do create some pretty good video, though, with those GoPros on the helmets. Gotta say, they're idiots, but I appreciate the content. Here, look what happens here. This guy's just hauling down the highway, and he encounters well, let's just watch, shall we? Here we go. Oh, wrong one.
When we get out there,
all right, so I don't know if you can see that. He's doing 80. Going in and out of traffic. Now, see this guy in front of him, James?
All right, look at this. We're in Florida, Miami, Naples, Coral. What is that?
Oh, is that? Oh, you do that too? Yeah, you try and read the sign. Yeah, Coral Springs says we're coming up on. All right, so but we are interested in this car right here because we don't know if this guy's a cop or not, and neither does the dude on the motorcycle.
nah, there's no way that's a cop, bro.
Yeah.
Whoa, what are you doing, bro? Oh, maybe it is. Shit. Why he brake checked me?
Yeah, but now you're doing. What are you doing, man? What are you doing, man? Indeed. Let's watch that one more time. Cop brake checking. And
What?
Yeah.
Shit. Why did he brake check me?
What are you
What are you doing, man?
Indeed. What are you doing, man? All right, James, your thoughts. Go ahead.
That cop needs to go to jail.
Right?
Yeah, he almost killed a dude.
I mean, I understand wanting to do that, right? But you can't do that. You can't.
I also understand the first brake check, and the guy got the message, and the guy was, I think you just brake checked me, man. Yeah, that's exactly. He sped up to above 80 miles an hour to get in front of you, just to smack it. All right. And when you didn't immediately slow down, he got mad and he thought, I'll show him. And he slammed his brakes. And the guy was going below 60 when contact was made, and he went flying. So that cop had slowed down way below 60 miles an hour. He must have just slammed on the brakes.
Do you know how? I mean, look, I know we're talking, so what? They're not us, but just on a personal level, do you know how much damage that dude had to his motorcycle from that? That sucks. That just sucks. That dude's day is wrecked. Now, I don't like to take up for the motorcycle guys because I don't like motorcycle guys. But
I don't like them either. But they're not. That doesn't make him wrong.
That doesn't make him wrong. Yeah, that cop needs that. That guy shouldn't be a cop. That cop has shown that he makes very poor decisions. All right, James, here we go. Here's our next one. We're going to call this one Fun by Traumatizing Your Kids. Now, these kids are absolutely traumatized here. You need to look at their faces. They are. And then I want you to catch Mom. You can only see Mom. Mom is going to be up in the upper right. You only catch her for a moment. Mom is loving it. So apparently they went to one of these drive-through zoos. Have you ever been to one of these with your kids?
Yeah, there's like 4 of them out here.
It seems like it seems like an unregulated West Texas rural kind of thing. Yeah. Because I've never been to one. Yeah, I've only seen it depicted in The Omen. I don't know if you remember The Omen from the 70s, but Damien, the son of Satan, as a little kid, was in the backseat of the car, and they were driving through this baboon habitat, and all the baboons knew that he was the son of the devil, so they went nuts, and that pretty much traumatized me.
Dude, there's so many instances of hicks that go out, and they're like, I think I'm going to buy myself a zebra. And the neighbor's like, I'm not going to be out zebraed by this jerk. And he goes out and gets like 8 camels or whatever. And then it's just a race between the neighbors to build the craziest safari. And you can just drive. There's like 2 of them outside of Jacksonville. How many do we need?
Yeah, I mean, you drive cross country. I mean, and this isn't just anything in the South. I mean, you drive across Illinois and you'll just suddenly run into all these wildlife parks. And it's just a dude. Just a dude who somehow had a bear and a wolf. And now
you can feed them like hot tamales or something. Yeah.
All right, well, let's traumatize the kids. Here we go. This is one of those fun little zoo parks. And the kids are in the car, and Mom is loving it. All right, right now you can hear the little girl is crying. She's afraid. There's something out that window. If you look over to the right, the driver's side window, there's something going on there. Kids are all very upset with whatever they're seeing over there. That kid is horrified at what just happened. I don't know, what is that? What is that? What do they bury the ostrich?
It's an ostrich, yeah. And apparently Braden here has never seen an animal up close. Braden, Jaden, Kalen, Peyton, Caden, Aiden, whatever your name is.
One of those.
Oh,
wait a second. We got to watch this again. Because Mom, you can catch Mom's smile. But this kid particularly, and by the way, the bird comes back. So we got to watch for that. Here we go. He's going to punch it. I'd be afraid my kid would punch it.
He wants the food, genius.
He's screaming, throw it out, Mom, throw it out.
The mom's like waving the food back there. It's all his thing wants, man. You didn't want to poke out your eyes. He didn't care. He wants your food.
Well, this kid had a bag of popcorn.
He snatched it.
Yeah, he already snatched it. There you go. All right, well, there you go. That's traumatizing kids. Mom was laughing. Mom loved that one.
Grow up, Noah or Liam or whatever your name is.
Let's see. What else do we have here, James? All right. How about all right, this one we're calling Mama Time because this one's from a while ago. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. This is a new one. I thought this was one. So this is a mom. This is a video. Call this one Mama Time. James, tell me what's going on here. She's riding a child's toy down a hill. Mom is riding a child's toy down a hill. Okay, that's all you need to know.
Share screen.
And then you tell I'm going to. And then you tell me what you think is going on here. It's Mama Time. This is what I think is going on
I
here.
don't like this already.
Nope. Are you okay?
Okay. You need to see it one more time, James?
No, that's we all got it.
Mama. Oh, yeah. And I look, the little kid has no idea what's going on. Mom is in full-blown orgasm, and the kid is like, Mommy.
Nope.
Oh.
Are you okay?
I'm gonna ruin it. No, don't touch me. Okay.
I don't think she's having an orgasm. I think she hurt herself.
Oh, no, she's orgasming. That's
That quick?
yeah. Well, we only saw a little bit. She might have gone down it for quite some time. And you never know,
I
man.
think she just banged her junk.
I don't know, man. I think you underestimate the power of that region. There are tools. Like there was these remember the rabbit, man? Girls were so crazy about the rabbit. They said they just touched themselves down there, and it just so maybe that kid's toy has a little thing going on down there that's kind of like that special thing the rabbit had.
I wish, but I think she hurt herself.
No, she didn't. It's Mama Time. She was orgasming. That's why she said, "Are you okay?" And she smiled sheepishly and was like, "Yeah."
Well, because she just hurt her private parts. That's why she's embarrassed.
No, James, she's orgasming. That's the whole point. It's why it went viral. But go ahead. All right, doesn't matter. You see what you want to see. All right, now let's play Justified or Not, James. I think you already saw this one, right? This is the one we said. I think it's going around today. This is a Justified or Not.
I love these.
This is
these all day.
Let's see here. Is this? Yeah. So this is some high school kids. I don't know how old they are. Maybe freshmen, sophomores. I don't know. But let's watch, and you tell me, James, Justified or Not. Here we go. Oh, it's not sure.
Nigga, you're psychotic, nigga. Period.
Okay.
No,
bro, you was a little ass boy, bro. You
One more. He's obviously much larger than she is, but I think we saw her throw the first punch. James, Justified or Not?
Allow me a little nuance. First off, it's totally justified. Yeah, she swung first. He swung until she stopped coming at him. When she came at him again, he swung again. When she stopped coming, he stopped. I thought he exerted almost perfect self-control, and sort of by like the legal definition of you're allowed to defend yourself. That's all I saw there. Personally speaking, here's the nuance part is I would not have done that. And I know I wouldn't have done that because I've been slapped by girls before and I never punch them in the face several times afterwards. And also the size difference, I always keep that in mind, especially now that I am this big. I wasn't always this big, that I can't be seen punching a girl, or every guy in the room who didn't see the first punch
will kick your ass.
Destroy me.
Yeah.
Right. So I am quite aware of my ability to be the most hated person in the room at the snap of a finger, just from a misjudgment like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I personally would not have done that. I've been slapped and I have never retaliated with the punch. But when I see other guys do it, I'm fine by me.
All right. Not fine by me. I couldn't disagree with James more. Completely not justified. What kind of a bitch man has to fight back against a girl? Now, I make a distinction, James, between the genders. When it comes to this, is it justified or not? If that was a guy and a guy hit a guy first, yeah, you're justified in swinging back. I don't believe guys ever justified in hitting a woman, especially when that guy stands up and he's 6'6", and this girl, she's a dumb little bitch. That's what she is. She should be told she's a dumb little bitch. He should look at her, smile, and do the manly thing, which is get your fucking ass out of that situation. Excuse me for swearing, but I like to do it for punctuation. Get your ass out of the situation. That's what I would tell my son. You could whip her ass. You can't control your ego so much that she slapped you in front of everybody. Yeah, that's right. Was that embarrassing that it hurt you? Did you need to lash back? Did you need vengeance? Or are you strong enough and enough of a man to just walk away and go, well, she knows I'd whip her ass. That's what I would expect of my son, and that's what I would like to think that I would do. So I don't think it's justified.
No, I mean, I know that's what I would do, but when you look at just like the letter of the law, like, does that mean that women can just assault men at will and we always have to turn the other cheek?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it
I
does.
don't think so. I think that every guy has their limit, and as long as we make that limit a variable and women don't know where it's at, that gives them an incentive to not escalate things, because you don't know if I am the type of guy that is just going to keep wailing on you until you stop kicking, or if I'm the gentleman that I am. You don't know that, and I think that's an asset. And I think these guys that are buttholes like that serve a purpose in the world. It gives people a little bit more incentive to be civil.
I think, as with almost everything else in this world, it's really a case-by-case basis, because when I just said that it's never justified, that's not necessarily true. If it's a 6'5" woman who is capable of doing real bodily damage to me, then yeah, I should be able to defend myself. But I think in the moment, you have to assess. You have to be the bigger person and assess, okay, do I really, if I'm punching her in the face, is it because I'm honestly afraid she's going to kick my ass, or am I just losing control of my emotions and I want to hurt her because she slapped me?
Yeah, but also
If it's that, you need to be a better person.
when you get slapped, or when you slap someone in the face, you need to recognize that you are activating their parasympathetic nervous system. There's going to be a rush of adrenaline. Their judgment is going to be impaired. And that needs, and if some of these guys don't flip out and start swinging, in fact, the more that happens, the more that's part of the equation. Is we would have a more civil society if this happened more often.
Yeah, I mean, look, she's an idiot. Personally, she's the one that should get in trouble. She assaulted him physically out of nowhere. He was sitting down. I wish he would have been better. I wish he'd have been able to just stand up, look her in the face, laugh, and walk away. And that's a hard thing to do. But you can't be punching women, man. Especially when that dude's like, see how big he was? He's like a giant goon. Yeah. Can't be doing that.
Now, here's what I can do, though. I've been slapped in the face a handful of times. What has happened more often is a woman has attempted to slap me in the face, and I've either caught her hand or just dodged it.
I was in a relationship with a girl who was a fighter, and so certain people in my life know very much the details of how this went. I've been beaten up pretty bad. I had a broken eye socket. I've never thrown a punch back. It didn't. You just can't. You can't. It's a real thing.
But you stayed with her?
No. I mean,
okay.
What, have you met her? Do you know who I'm talking about? No.
Well, but it sort of was implied that it happened more than once.
She had a drinking problem, and yeah. All right, this next one, James, we're calling don't. She was also extraordinarily hot, so you put up with things. This one I call don't fucks with Gary. All right, now this is Gary. Who's Gary, you may ask? Gary's a 60-something-year-old man just out on the town, staying in a hotel in, I don't know, New York or Chicago or wherever this is. Steps outside of his hotel waiting for his cab, gets accosted by one of these street urchins we hear so much about these days, James. And Gary looks like a target, James. But let me tell you, don't fucks with Gary. Here you go. This is Gary. Let's see. Now, this actually is Chicago. It says this is Chicago. Okay. So you'll see. We'll set it up for you here. We'll get you started, and I'll tell you what's going on. So this is Gary and the lovely Mrs. Gary. Gary is wearing the vest. He's got the white sleeves there. You see him. The lovely Mrs. Gary is wearing a white jacket. And then you see, the aforementioned street urchin. See the guy? He's dressed all in black. And it looks like he and Gary are getting into it. So let's watch and see what happens. I'm sure this street person thinks Gary's an out-of-towner with some money, and maybe he can...
Like you. Fuck you. I didn't even ask you for shit. Ain't you fucking right? Man. I'm fucking white. You fucking black. You fucking talk to me. How will answer a fucking question?
All right. So I don't know if
you missed the dialogue. What was said?
So let me help you. The aggressor, the street person, is yelling, "Let me ask you a fucking question." And Gary is saying, "Stay away from me. I don't want to talk to you. back the fuck up. That's what Gary's saying.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we'll try and listen here some more, and we'll
So
go
glad
back.
all people are recording these.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You get the fuck out of here. You get
All right, now the wife, the wife, or whoever this is, she knows Gary. She's been with Gary for a few years.
No, not again, Gary. No, Gary, not again. Not
She
here.
knows where this is going. And if you notice, she's trying to pull Gary into the Uber or the cab or whatever it is that seems to have just pulled up. And Gary is just giving the wife the old shove, just like the old college days. He's like, no. All right, Gary will kick to me.
Punch it.
Hey! Break it up! Break it up! That's new, man. Break it up!
So here's what I love about Gary. Yeah, he's probably staying at that looks like a Mag Mile hotel. So he's probably staying in a really nice hotel. Looks like he's a businessman of some accomplishment.
Something nice like a Holiday Inn or something.
No, something nice. That looks like a really
Yeah.
nice one. Looks like a
Didn't know
boutique.
that.
Yeah, I know. I get what you're going. But Gary wants to scrap. Gary is not making his way to the Uber and getting off for drinks with his client or whatever the hell it is he's doing in town. Gary wants to scrap. So let's see how this plays out.
Get out of here! Fuck out my face, man, bro! Hell, dude, get your gun!
Uber's here. Now the Uber driver. Oh, here comes Gary. Oh, Gary's here. No haymakers.
Come on!
Gary's been watching Fox News every night for the last 15 years, and he's been waiting for an opportunity to just let his rich white man rage out on the streets of Chicago. Gary is going for it, and I salute Gary. Gary was like, this is my opportunity. I can tangle ass. I can kick a little butt. I know I don't look like it. People know me as...
Didn't I hear him say, hey, aren't you that guy from Empire?
Yes. Yes, right? This is Trump country. I believe I heard that. Now look, so the guy is now on the ground and he's screaming, all right, man. It's like the guy has turned into a Chappelle character. Like he just wants to...
Like if you're Gary, what's your incentive to stop here? Just that
none.
Chivalry. That's it. Just honor system is what we're at this point. All right.
Gary's got some anger, and as most of us old middle-aged white men do, Gary's just letting it out. We're getting the close-up on Gary now. Gary's lost it. Gary's been in anger management, court ordered. Gary, about 5 years ago, Gary was sent to court ordered anger management because of something that happened at Trader Joe's.
Yeah, and the wife was probably a witness to that, and that's why she was pulling.
Right.
She saw him go into like the fight trance that some dudes go into. Because some guys have like the sex trance, like when they're in the mood, it's just happening and you can't stop them. And some guys have the fight trance, like once they get the glassy eyes, it's like, they're gonna fight. It's already been decided.
Can we talk about Gary's sweater here? Look at this. This is a very nice. Gary's got a nice look. I like. If you have, like, what is going on with this shirt? That he's wearing a vest.
It looks like a button-up shirt with the vest over it.
That's pretty cool. I mean, Gary's got a little style. He can whip a little ass. He's got some style.
You get an offer.
Okay. So wait, what is this?
Thanks, wife.
Yeah, hold on.
You fucking motherfucker!
If you have you get an offer right now.
Come on, bro, let's go.
Oh, Gary?
Come on, bro, let's go.
Gary, if you... That's the last we heard from the wife. Oh, Gary and Barb. How was your weekend in Chicago?
Other than that, yeah.
The best.
Well, again, look, it's the same as the guy before. If not, I wouldn't have done that. But when people pop off and, throw hands at street urchins who are yelling at you, this gives future street urchins incentive to not do that. Cost fewer people realize some of us may be Gary's. Some of us may not be cool people who can be the better man and walk away. Some of us have anger management issues. But also, he didn't just keep going until the guy's like in a bloody pool and passed out, and then they keep kicking him in the head when he's passed out, like you see in some of these other horrific, out of control, barbaric fight videos. This was, I'm not saying calm, cool, and collected. But when the threat was neutralized, Gary voluntarily withdrew, just like when the ogre from the previous video.
It could have been over before any punches were thrown. Gary could have gotten in the Uber and gone home or gone wherever. Gary hunted him down. Come on, the wife was trying. Gary wanted that fight. Gary got that fight. But I do see what you mean. He didn't curb stomp him or anything like that. That dude didn't need to be rushed to the emergency room with life-threatening injuries. Gary knew where to draw the line. He just wanted to whip a little ass. And he did.
Well, the guy came up and accosted Gary to begin with. Gary didn't go interrupt his day. So
yeah, we assume. We don't know, but yeah, I'm guessing that's how it went down. I can't imagine Gary came out of the Four Seasons there on Michigan Avenue and started a fight with a bum. That'd be unlike Gary. All right, here, how about this one? This is a quick one for you. Okay, James. Yeah, James, have you ever jumped out of an airplane or parachuted?
Oh my God, no, I haven't. I wasn't in the military. I have just a mathematical approach to skydiving, and the fact that skydiving does have a small element of danger to it. I know you're more likely to die falling out of bed or whatever, but as you get older, mathematically speaking, that danger gets infinitely small. And so when they say, look at this 101-year-old lady that skydive, and I'm like, that's not a risk at all. She's not risking a damn thing. What is she going to live to 102? She's going to lose less than 1% of her life, and it's that last year. That's not tragic at all. A 24-year-old dying in a skydiving accident is a tragedy, like.
Well, it's funny that you say that, James, because here we have a 25-year-old base jumper. You just said 24-year-old. And James, you are so magical. You even mentioned, what did you say, 104-year-old skydiver? Oh, my God. So just bear with me on this. All right, James, here's 25-year-old base jumper. He's on top of a tower, and he's jumping from a tower. I would never in a million years do this. All right, watch this, James. There he goes. Ah, shit, it didn't open. Well,
it didn't open the whole time. It had a lot of time to open. It just decided, oh my God, why are you doing this, you idiot?
And this is why I will never do something. Just the way he thought he's dead. I mean, there's no
full flip didn't help. No,
he's dead. All right, so that's your 25-year-old.
Do you know he's dead? Do you know, or just assume?
Yeah, he's dead. I read the story that came out.
Oh, that's so horrible. That's funny because I just wrote a story this morning about some lady, I think it was in Pennsylvania or whatever, that heard a noise in her backyard, and she went outside, and there was a dude there, and it was a skydiver whose chute didn't open. It just
yes, I saw that story this morning.
Oh man,
well, how awesome is that? All right, so James, now let me go here because you went there first because we saw the 25-year-old who chances are he's going to be fine with the skydiving. Now, James, I want to bring you 104-year-old. I don't know what her name is. Old lady, 104-year-old old lady. James, let's go ahead. I want to play this for you. She jumped out of an airplane on her last Tuesday, on her 104th birthday. This was her. Let's watch this video. Okay, first of all, how is this not elder abuse? She's 104. She has no idea what
it's not elder abuse. If she's 100, go skydiving.
I want to talk to her before she died. I want to know, does she have any clue what she's doing? Wait till you see her face. By the way, this camera work is amazing. Just wait till you see this old lady's face as she's falling. Right, here she goes. Doesn't she look like one of them troll dolls? She looks like one of those troll dolls.
Yeah, she's like, this looks like Google Maps. Right?
Oh my God, she is so cute. Oh, wait. 4 years old. There she goes. That's her. 104 years old. She made her first ever parachute jump 1 week ago tonight, last Tuesday. 104 years old. That's how she celebrated her birthday. James, she died this morning. She died this morning.
Really?
Yeah. That's why.
It wasn't related to the parachute jump, was it?
No, she was fine. It was probably the thrill of her life. She probably figured that's it. I got one more week in me. I'm going to say my goodbyes.
It was the last thrill of her life.
I need that picture. I need to make that picture. I want that picture here. I want this to now be my like icon picture. What do you call that? Your profile picture?
Yeah, your profile pic.
On everything from now on. Here, this. I'll get it. I'll take a good snap of it. Here we go. Look at her. Oh, isn't she amazing?
You're enjoying that, huh?
I love her. That old bird. Oh, she's dead. But look, man, whatever. This is when I might jump out of a plane, like at 104. Why not?
At 104, I would base jump off of a radio tower like the previous dude. Even if I just leave a poof of snow at the bottom? Oh well, I was gonna die in a couple days anyway.
By 104, okay? By 104, James, I will have been doing heroin regularly for almost 30 years. So yeah, I think I'll be up. I think I'll be up to jump out of an airplane.
What's heroin age? The heroin landmark?
75. 75th birthday, I'm doing heroin. That's what I want for my 75th birthday. I want everybody to bring me heroin.
Back to 80.
And someone to teach me how to do heroin. That's what I'm gonna do for my 70th birthday. You're gonna bring me heroin, and you're gonna bring like some skank who's gonna teach me how to do heroin, and then we're gonna do heroin.
Train spotting a couple times.
Yeah, honestly, why would I care about getting infections and stuff like that, right? I mean,
you want to hit the vein, or it's not going to work properly.
Yeah. I really want to try heroin, but not until I don't care if I screw up, because I might get the dosage wrong. I think that's something that's real possible for me. Like if I start doing heroin, I would totally accidentally OD.
Oh darn!
Now, you know why? I can't even pour a can of soda without like spilling it over the brim. I'm not good with that stuff. I use just a little. I try to cram a little bit more heroin into the needle, and it would kill me.
Heroin's going to be tough. All right, later, dude.
All right, there you go. There goes James. We're talking about heroin. Now I'm going to do it at 25. We'll see you tomorrow at noon for the High Noon Report. Hot topics, current events, trends, all of that stuff. I don't know what the rest of them. Oh my God. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do with the rest of the night. I totally forgot, and I want to thank you people. On my end, I haven't had the chat room open because I had to pause the Ranger game. Now, I know they were up 6-0, and I expect that they won, but now I get to go, and I'm going to go enjoy that, and I'm going to go watch the Rangers. Yeah, Dallas, Texas Rangers. They're going to the World Series, folks. I'm telling you, something magic is happening. Something really crazy and weird is happening with the Texas Rangers. My God, dude, they're about to sweep out the Baltimore Orioles. I thought the Baltimore Orioles were going all the way. The Baltimore Orioles looked amazing. Rangers sweeping them out. How exciting. Forget about the Cowboys. Come on, Dallas, get behind your strangers. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. The best is yet to come. I have found a different way. So baffling to some, I can smile a little now, things are going good. I always had to be on guard, that is understood. Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. I am on a never-ending quest.